Okay, on my show today, I'm very excited because I have one of the most famous filmmakers, screenwriters, Academy Award winner. He's a controversial figure. He's been around in the industry for, I don't know, 30, 40 years. He's got a very long standing career, which is very impressive, but his personal life has always been quite controversial. So, I really want to introduce somebody who's one of the greatest screenwriters of all time, Mr. Woody Allen. Hi, sir. How are you today?
Uh, it's great. Thank you. That's good.
Yeah, you're such a
No,
you've
it's
been
great. Thank you for having me on your show.
you're welcome. It's an honor for me. I grew up watching your films. I saw Take
Oh,
the Money Front.
how old?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Right now I'm 38.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I started watching the films, I was much younger. I was watching them when I was, 10 or 11 years old.
Oh,
And,
10 or
yeah, yeah.
10 or 11. Well, I
Right.
made a move.
That was,
I made a movie about. I was. Juliette Lewis was.
well, she was very young. She was a lot younger than the character that you played, and she was, I think, around 22 or 21, the character was supposed to be. And that was right around the time that we saw you in your personal
When I
life. You
was
were
a
also,
boy growing up in
what?
Brooklyn, my mother and father were from the old world.
Yeah.
I got married in the village by a reformed rabbi, very reformed, a Nazi.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
you performed
yeah,
that
very
much.
reformed.
That's
Yeah,
pretty reformed.
I
And
mean,
I understand
uh,
your first wife was a school teacher.
Yeah, I told my mother and father I had to let her go. It was reported. I have to be careful what I say about her. It was reported in the papers that she was violated, and the papers asked me to comment, and I said it couldn't have been a very moving violation because she was raped, and I was making fun of
Uh,
her.
uh,
I mean,
yeah. Uh, wow. Okay. So what I understand is that she actually sued because she said you used some of your personal life experiences in your scripts, and she was
I
offended
like
by
to
that.
draw from life experience.
Yeah. I
I was very big with the bullies when I was a boy. They used to use me for target practice, and I was beaten sadistically about the
mhm.
face and neck by even the postman would get in. I was redheaded, very fair. I didn't tan. I stroked.
Yeah. Yeah, me too,
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, you,
Yeah. Yes,
Ginger, Ginger, yeah, as they called me. Uh,
yes.
but
Yeah,
when
that's
I
what they
got into
called
the
me too.
movies, I was better luck with the women from Diane and uh, I, Louise. I saw a lot,
Yes.
but later the heart wants what it wants.
I suppose so. Yeah, in your case, your heart wanted your stepdaughter, right? Because I mean, she was Mia Farrow, who you were.
Oh,
I guess you guys weren't married,
oh,
but you had been together
we
for
were
15
friends. It
years.
was a
Oh,
misunderstanding.
friend. Oh,
It's very misunderstanding. It's a
oh, it was just a misunderstanding. So Mia Farrow had several children. I mean, she had what, 12 or 13 kids, something like that. Some of them adopted, some of them biological, and you ended up with one of them romantically when she was how old?
I, I, sh- the hot ones. I, I have a new movie. It,
Oh, you do. You put out a new movie just about every 9 months. So what's your latest film?
I, I put out. I'm able to work outside of Hollywood. Uh, I'm not constrained
No.
by the Hollywood. I found it very constraining. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
born Alan Koenigsberg. A lot of people don't know that, but Woody. I always had a Woody, so my mother called me Woody Allen. Uh, because I always had a small Tinker Toy size kind of it was a Lincoln log, and
Hmm.
yeah, when I was a boy, I wanted a dog, but we were very poor. My
Yeah.
mother wouldn't get me a dog. They got me an ant.
They got you an
Yeah,
ant.
it was one day. Sheldon Finkelstein came and bullied me and sadistically beat me and was tap dancing on my windpipe and
Uh-huh.
my wood yee. I said to my dog, "Kill!"
You said to your aunt, you mean?
And Sheldon Finkelstein stepped on my dog.
Yeah. And he killed Sheldon. Yeah. So it sounds like Sheldon actually killed your dog, right? Must have been a very traumatic experience for you. You
I was
you
up.
sound like you had a rough childhood.
It was very rough. We grew up very poor.
Yeah.
We grew up in Coney Island. Actually, we rented a little. We actually lived in the booth that ran the roller coaster at Coney Island. So I never got any sleep growing up.
Oh,
I, I'm
that's a true story then? That was in the movie Annie Hall.
I,
So you're saying that really
I'm in
happened?
analysis. I sometimes I have a watch. It's my grandfather. It's an old antique pocket watch. My grandfather sold me this watch on his deathbed because he's a Jew. It's cheap. He's a very insignificant man.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
And yeah, so when oh, so okay, so you're saying that your grandfather sold you your watch, and Mia Farrow said that when you were in analysis that you would have to ask your analyst about changing the style of your sheets on your bed. Is that correct?
I, 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 I just I have a couple of movies coming out. Coming
So you
out.
don't you don't have to speak to your analyst to change the sheets on your bed?
I made a
Uh,
movie called Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
yeah, I saw
Javi,
it.
oh, thank you, thank you. You were one of the 16. Thank you.
Yeah, I did
Thank you for
see
the
it.
$12.
Well, I didn't pay $12, but I saw it on video. But
Oh,
yeah,
video. Yes,
yeah,
it's true. I can't tell you any more about my personal life. It's true. It's hard for me to change the sheets.
it's hard for you to change the sheets. Yeah, because the thread counts are different, and then
I
the
get
consistency.
addicted to the smell and the memory of a
Oh, yeah.
girl. The young girls, why are they so seductive with their skinny legs?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe that has
In some
something to do.
cultures, 12 years old was King Arthur. It was perfectly
Well,
legal.
well, wouldn't your analyst say that maybe that means you're afraid to die, so you always want to be with younger women?
Uh,
Would you?
that's a very,
Does it-
very Freudian reading, and I don't
Yeah.
subscribe to Freud anymore. I
Oh,
subscribe to Playboy.
oh,
That's fine.
okay. Yeah,
Subscribe.
right, right. The women are very young in Playboy, so that must be appealing to you. Yeah. So tell us about your new film.
Uh,
You keep saying that you have a new movie. Let's hear
I have
about
a
it.
new film coming out. It's called Untitled Project. It's in pre-production. Uh,
Oh, it's called Untitled Project.
I'm
Just,
not giving it away. It's about yeah, some people in a relationship that isn't working out exactly as they hoped, and some sexual innuendo, and also. And then there's some confusion, but at the end, the heart wants what it wants. Yeah.
okay, that sounds like the plot of a lot of your films,
Uh,
actually.
uh,
So, yeah, I mean, there's actually that common thread throughout all your films, I would say.
uh,
There's usually somebody having an affair. There's usually some kind of crime. There's always sort of an element of there's either a guy who's in the mob or a guy that's committing some kind of crime. And so, why does that fascinate you? Like, why are you interested in criminal acts?
well, for example, in Manhattan, I think the great criminal act of my career was letting Mariel Hemingway go. I mean, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, she was 18. I mean, well, she'd never go out with a guy like me unless I had money. Is why the heart wants what it wants.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. And
And
other
then with
parts of the body as well.
Diane Keaton, what a waste of time.
Why was that a waste of time?
Uh,
She's very bright, talented,
uh,
funny.
Yeah, I don't like being upstaged, especially
Oh,
not in the bedroom.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
But Mariel Hemingway, I mean, that was just in a movie, right? You didn't actually have a relationship with her, did you?
I'm a, Aber, well, I
Do you know the difference between film and real life?